We used to record locally.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing this show for that long. We've recorded this every single possible way. I think.
Mm-hmm.
We were on
Devo.
Zoom.
Yeah.
We were
Devo?
on. I don't even. We went
Remember
to
what it
San
was
Francisco.
called?
We went to San Francisco Blab.
Blab, yeah.
Yes.
Blab.
We went to Blab headquarters.
Yeah, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Yeah.
Sean
from Blab.
Yeah, has like
It's probably worth what, $9 billion now.
Probably. He's on Twitter. He's got like one of the top podcasts in the world.
He does? Wow.
Yeah, My First Million. Have you ever heard of that podcast?
No.
Oh, Shane. Is it Shane? Sean.
Mm-hmm.
It's Sean. Yeah.
Wow.
Whatever. Yeah.
We were around greatness and we blew
Didn't
it.
even know.
Yeah.
You were bathing in his musk.
My First Million podcast.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, there he is. Okay. Yeah, and it tells how that they had like a bunch of like coders like sleeping in the office. And they had a bar.
Nice
that's how
office.
That's how you make $1 million.
I mean, they had bedrooms, guest rooms, and bathrooms and stuff for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's so nice, but they can never leave.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
It's like the Hotel California. Yeah.
All the ping pong and soft serve you can have, but you can never leave.
And you can't use it except for when strangers are in, and then you make it look like
when we want you.
Then you make it look fun.
Everybody go to the ping pong table right now.
Mm-hmm.
You said we couldn't play. Love it.
Yeah. Remember all of our Blab friends, Tyson?
Yeah. We had a lot of friends. Some of them I've really wanted to unfollow on Twitter, but I haven't. I think we're thinking about the same guy.
Right.
500,000 followers on Twitter, gets 1 like on every single post. That guy? Is that the guy, Rob?
If I could remember his name.
I remember his name. You want to hear his name?
I know who it is.
You want to hear his name?
We don't need to smoke. We don't need to smoke
don't do it.
from all the fake followers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. You ready? Okay. Here we go. All right. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Rob Cesternino back again to talk with you about the week's most interesting news stories for the week of October 24th, 2023 here on News AF.
If a story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF. If the same old news makes you bored to death, it's time for some News AF. Actual, factual news.
Yeah, here we are, a week before Halloween, ready to talk about some interesting news stories. Back with our News AF team here, back with us to talk about everything. It's pickleball's top influencer, Father Nature, Tyson Apostol.
Hi.
What's happening?
Not much. I'm just hanging out here in Arizona. Weather dipped finally today. I went running to see if I could still run yesterday, Danny. I ran straight up a mountain and then straight down it.
And can you walk today?
Yeah, it's no problem. Pickleball actually works your legs out pretty good. That's true. Then I do one-legged squats when I watch TV sometimes, which
lots of juking.
Wow. Yeah. So I feel pretty good. I think I could move at a slow pace with you for tens of miles if we needed.
That's good. Tens of miles. That's more than enough.
Multiple tens of miles.
I bet I
could get a marathon on off-road on.
Oh, for sure.
Without wanting to murder myself.
Yeah. All right. Well, here with us as well, of course, a man. We will find out if he does any one-legged squats. Danny Bryson. Danny, how are you?
I do squats, but I've never even thought to do a one-legged squat. I don't know if I have the balance to do a one-legged squat, to be honest.
No, you put your foot that's up on either like a yoga ball or just like put it on the couch or something.
Maybe I should try it.
I think it's better for your stabilization and stuff. It's more of like a all-around exercise for your leg than a two-legged squat would be.
I don't need to increase my leg size.
It's true. Your skin's probably stretched thin enough.
Hard to find pants now that Canada shut down the
Dude.
Quadzilla.
Yeah, the Quadzilla gene company.
Oh, that company doesn't exist anymore?
No, I don't know. I just threw that out there.
Well, what if I would also hate to see your quads burst like an overcooked bratwurst and just
like a ripe watermelon.
Yeah, just like that. It would be tragic. Liz comes running down into the weight room, and I'm just laying in a puddle of my own,
like a hot dog and
quad juice,
like a hot dog in a microwave.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Please, God forbid.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's new, Danny? What's been going on?
Oh, let's see. Well, I traveled back to the States and managed to not bring any bed bugs with me.
Oh, good. The
that
traps
you know
work?
of.
That I know of, but I did quarantine all of my luggage.
For how long do you have to do
those
that for bed
traps.
bugs?
You know, I just did it for 24 hours. I didn't look it up because you're putting it in a tub, right? So I assume you would see one or two crawling around after that period of time.
They make a run for it. They know, they know to stay in the luggage all through the airplane and everything.
Yeah.
They've worked it out. And it's like, all right, once you get home, now's the run for it.
We have a 24-hour window to get out of here. And then that's the same 24-hour window that your luggage is in the bathtub.
But no one's been bitten, so I'm assuming that it was successful.
I mean, you could all just be asymptomatic.
Maybe. I don't even know if that's a thing.
I think it is. I think some people's bites do show up.
5 people, though? What are the odds of all 5?
Being asymptomatic? I mean, you're all from the same family.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the science behind it, but so far, so good.
But Danny and Liz both being asymptomatic, that's the one.
Yeah. Danny, I can see, but Liz, I would imagine she would.
They probably
up.
Smell her from a mile away.
Yeah.
And then, leg will get all swollen. Then
Pete says they're attracted to to the carbon dioxide in your breath.
So are mosquitoes.
Yeah, I heard of that about mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's how they find you.
That's
how they know where a human is.
So if you slept in like a scuba thing that still puts it out.
It's not even the CO2 in your breath. It's the CO2 emitted by your body everywhere.
Does that really happen? Am I emitting CO2 out my pores?
Probably. I mean, there's
were
pores.
You thinking butt? Were you thinking farts that we were thinking?
No, I'm just thinking everything. I think
they don't seem to be attracted to butts more than anything else. Mosquitoes. People are like, oh man, I'm just like I've got all
they're mostly attracted to ankles.
Yeah,
that's
they
true.
Love those juicy.
So a lot of CO2
ankles.
coming out the ankles, you think?
For some reason,
behind the ears.
Yeah. So
science.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that. But luckily, Dan didn't bring anything home with him, and so we should be safe here in the U.S. as long as nobody else travels.
Yeah, everyone stop traveling now. Now that I'm back.
Okay.
So you think that like people who can afford European vacations are more likely then to contract bed bugs, which then is a weird cycle, start like a trickle down effect. So it's like I'm living next to the billionaires, the Brysons, they bring bed bugs with them. Now all of a sudden my whole billionaire neighborhood has bed bugs.
See, I thought about this because the outbreak happened when they were doing the fashion week in Paris. And so of course every billionaire was there. And I haven't heard any stories of them having to fumigate their homes.
Oh, they're hiding that shit, dude. You think
their publicists are working full time to cover up the greatest cover up of this year. Billionaire bed bug infestation.
Yeah.
They don't want anybody to know.
No, I get that. Right. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. It's like you didn't quarantine your luggage.
One time in high school, junior high, maybe like sophomore year of high school, the health teacher, we were like in health class and we were learning about lice. And the health teacher was like, it's not uncommon for people to get lice. It's not as embarrassing thing. I mean, how many people in here have had lice? And I raised my hand because I had lice when I was in elementary school. Like a thing went around, and he was like, "Oh, don't raise your hand." But it was too late. It's like you can't.
The damage was done.
The damage was done. School. I got beat up 4 times and had to go to a different school. That's not true.
Wow.
I didn't give a shit, and it didn't seem like anybody else really did either. We were fine, but still. Yeah, it was funny that he was like, I mean, how many people in here probably had lice? And I was like, I have. And they're like, stop. I should have sued him. Damn it.
It's too late.
Too late. That's past the statute of limitations. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into. We had a lot of news stories to get into. Why don't we start off with talking about a woman who is baffling scientists and breaking records? It's the world's oldest woman who, at 116 years old, her name is Maria Brañez,
Yeah.
and not only is she 116, she's doing great. Has no health problems.
What a badass.
It's a fragile system that's working in her body.
Yes.
Just like
A
teetering.
hard sneeze could end her life.
You think we're
Oh.
jinxing it?
A hard sneeze has almost ended my life before, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
44.
Like a hard sneeze could easily separate all the tubes running into her heart.
Yeah. No tubes. She's doing
No,
great.
not
She
tubes.
has
I didn't know what to call them.
arteries. Yeah.
Veins and arteries.
Yeah.
So
And scientists are baffled as to why she's doing so great. And they're wondering if maybe she could be the key to discovering immortality.
no,
I don't think so. She's gonna die.
she still
Mhm.
looks horrible. She still looks like 116.
Danny.
Jeez, Danny.
Okay, when I saw the picture of her, I
Yeah.
thought, that's great. You're 116, but you look like garbage and you probably can't walk. very far."
Yeah, come on.
Everyone looks at like garbage at 116. Have you ever seen a 116-year-old thought, oh my
This
God,
is Danny. This is a very attractive 116-year-old.
Yeah, I don't think she looks bad
It's
for
not
being
possible.
116.
all right, I'm going to go back and look at the, oh my gosh. She's got a dog.
She's in a wheelchair though, so that's
Yeah.
like I don't know if that's the fountain.
This was
of
when
youth.
she was young. This was
I love that. I love this picture of her when she was young that looks
Is
like it
she-
was taken in the early days of photography.
Was
It
she
was.
born
She was
before-
this was her in 1925, Danny.
Oh my God.
So she was born before 1910.
This was she was born 1906 or 1907. She is at 87.
They call her a
she's
super
basically
grandmother.
a teenager then.
But that's not a title anyone but her grandkids can give her.
So is she a great grandmother or great grandmother? Like
Yeah,
that's
here
insane.
let me give you the I know she has a daughter who's 90. And
She has a daughter who's 90, so that's probably a great grandma. So
Holy
she probably has
crap.
great grandkids around.
she's living the dream. She gets to see all her kids die before her.
Docs in the
only
chat
one
says
that died, Danny.
Still, I don't think that's what you want.
Docs in the chat says name a hotter 116-year-old Danny.
Yeah.
Name one.
Okay, guys, listen. It was a little bit mean for me to say that, but at the same time, when you're 116 and science is propping you up as like the solution to, living longer, it's like I don't want to live longer if I'm going to look like that. Okay,
Danny,
I'd
you're
rather
so vain.
Of course I'm vain. I would rather have my body be falling apart but look youthful than look like she's stuck in a wheelchair. I mean, No, she's
WB
not-
in the chat says gilf with
Mm-hmm.
like 4 G's on the front.
Yeah. Well, scientists are going to be
scientists.
studying her DNA, focusing on 200 genes that are directly related to aging.
yeah, her skin's
She's
probably like
known as the
white
super
toilet paper.
grandmother.
You can't put a
Then what
needle
are they
in
going
her.
to do? They're
Yeah,
going
that could kill her.
they're going to inject all of us with the DNA.
They're going to study and see what's going on here. Why is she doing so great?
I'll tell you who's already on his way to Spain,
Mhm.
Mr. Forever Young.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
He's
he's just
gotta
sucked
get
his
some of that
son's
blood.
just sucked
Yeah.
his son's blood and
Yeah.
is now on
So-
his
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, the only
Exactly.
thing going on with her is that she does have some mobility issues and she doesn't have great hearing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Other than
mobility
that, she's
issues.
perfect.
No,
She's
that's no.
completely lucid, Danny.
Mobility issues are huge. She
Yeah, but
credits it.
lucidity is pretty
Yeah, it's
pretty
lovely.
crazy. At
Agreed.
116 to still be lucid.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's pretty
really
good. She credits it
Mhm.
to eating natural yogurt every day. So there's her. This is how I did it.
Mhm.
advice.
Yeah.
I like the Dr. Pepper one better.
Oh, I like all of them better.
Dr.
than
Pepper
yogurt.
and cigars.
Yeah.
What-
chocolate and wine.
Yeah,
Dan-
what was so this one was yogurt?
Yeah,
Natural yogurt?
natural yogurt.
Where's she
natural yogurt.
live?
She lives in Spain.
Hmm.
Danny, will you incorporate more yogurt into your diet?
I actually eat a lot of yogurt. So
Mm,
I'm
okay.
on my way.
Look at Danny.
My parents made homemade yogurt.
Oh,
all
where? In
growing
an
up.
Instant Pot? Oh, no.
In the tub.
No, in like not an Instapot, but kind of like that same idea.
Mm-hmm.
And Everyone loved it, and I ate it all growing up, and I am not a yogurt person now.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. Tyson.
Okay. Well, maybe you can incorporate it now.
I don't really like yogurt.
I know, but could be.
Is it worth it?
It might be.
A lifetime of misery?
I mean, you could see what the study comes back and says. It's like, actually, there's nothing special about her DNA. It must have been the yogurt.
What about frozen
I'd love to hear
yogurt, but
that.
instead of frozen yogurt, ice cream?
Ice cream.
That's a close cousin to yogurt. I think that should count.
Okay.
She also cut out toxic people and avoided excess. Which is like, I mean, you guys don't really do anything in excess.
Not really. I definitely don't have any toxic people. Won't tolerate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably play too many slot machines.
Yeah, but I don't think that counts.
You've touched too many stained nickels.
Wait, did I tell you guys about my trip home from California?
No.
Where I stopped at the casino?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I'm in Northern California. We fly into Santa Rosa. We go up to Danny's home away
Near
from
the compound.
home,
Yeah.
near the compound. On my way back, I lost my tax papers from last year's gambling trip to Santa Rosa, where I had made a lot of money in slot machines. So I go in to the casino. I'm like, oh, it's only 20 minutes from the airport from Santa Rosa. It's just like, I got to go and get my tax papers. So I go in, I'm like, hey, I need my tax papers. And they're like, oh, nice to see you again, Mr. Apostle. By the way, you have $800 in credits of free play to use in the casino. Would you like to use that now? I said, when does it expire? They said tomorrow. So I said, yeah,
that's very convenient. Yeah.
I guess I need to. Well, I was there pretty much exactly a year ago from then. It was just like crazy coincidence. So I call Rachel. She's in the car with the kids ready to go to the airport.
Yeah. Sign of an addiction right there.
I'm like, I'm going to burn through this $800. It's free money. If I don't use it, it's gone. And I'll just... So 15 minutes later, I leave the casino with $3,000 cash from slot machine winnings from my $800 of free credit from the casino. And pretty good.
They regretted telling you about those credits.
They probably did.
But they're like, he'll be back.
So when you live to be 116, Tyson, will you give credit to slot machines as part of the...
And long shot parlays.
Long shot.
Yes. And then was Rachel thrilled you were a hero that you came back with all the money?
Yeah, she was.
Okay, look at you.
Yeah, she was thrilled.
That's a strong family right there.
MVP.
I had $3,000 after only burning through $400 worth of credits. So then I went to higher limit slot machines and probably should have stuck to like the $25 spins instead of the bigger ones. But
probably the best thing going for you was that the family was in the car. Otherwise, you probably would have given a lot of it back.
That's a sign of a strong relationship. If a wife will wait in the car with the kids while you gamble.
Yeah,
that's like, it doesn't get any stronger than that.
Well, she was like, should we come in? I was like, you can try. And she did. And they said no. Because they're kids. And then she walked around. So, yeah.
Okay.
Michael Myers in the chat thinks we got Randy Johnson here. Because I'm wearing a D-backs hat and D-backs playing tonight.
See, I thought he was because that Danny was wearing like a Mariners hat.
Oh, could be.
Who's the real Randy Johnson?
I've been told I look like Randy Johnson when I have my mullet.
Tyson's tall enough to be Randy Johnson.
I'm not. He's taller than me.
Well,
he's the big unit. He's like 6'10".
No, he's not.
Yeah,
he's
he
not
is.
6'10".
Yeah, he is.
That is a big unit.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah. How tall is Randy Johnson? Yeah, 6'10".
See? Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I killed a bird one time.
I saw that. That's the only part of baseball I was ever interested in. 6'10". That blows my mind. It'll take all day to get over that.
Danny's really into bird murder.
Yeah, when that bird slapped
bird slaughter. I guess it's not bird murder; it's bird slaughter.
Yeah.
Well, when what's his name got hit in the face with a bird, that was also exciting. Fabio.
Yeah, that happened.
Bird story.
Was that on baseball?
No.
But saying I love bird murder.
Yeah. Well, that bird did poop in his sandwich one time, Tyson.
Yeah, they're out to get me.
That's
Mhm.
true. We went to Bodega Bay where Birds was filmed.
Yeah,
And it's
Bird
crazy.
Murder.
Wow.
It's crazy that place, that's still all they've got. Like you go into any establishment and they're like, the Birds was
Alfred
filmed
Hitchcock
here.
was
Alfred
in here. He had a
Hitchcock.
sandwich at this very booth. We've never
Nothing.
watched the street off.
No
We
bird
haven't
pooped in his
changed.
sandwich.
We haven't changed this entire town since that was filmed. It's like it's crazy. Like I was like, eventually nobody's going to remember that. Like we're the last generation to remember that
Yeah.
movie, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only because they hyped it so big every time you went through Bodega Bay 15 years ago.
Yeah, but when they remake it because they don't have any other movie ideas.
Yeah,
I saw they're
huge.
on their like 19th Wonka movie.
New Wonka movie coming
with,
out. Yeah, Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's crush right now.
All right. Well, all right. If you want to live to 116 years old, that maybe that you want to start to add more coffee to your diet because that according to studyfinds.org, one of the official websites of News AF, that they
Our
say,
sponsor.
yeah, we do a lot of sponsoring for them because we're always talking about what they come up with.
Yeah.
But they point to a study out of Singapore where 12,000 participants, that's pretty good for study
that's
finds.
good.
Yeah. They found out that people who drank 4 cups of coffee daily experienced the most significant benefits.
4 cups of coffee daily?
That's a lot of coffee a day.
I drank 2 and then I just had a Celsius, which is like 19 coffees.
4 cans of Monster.
4 cans of Mountain
Is
Dew.
that about the same.
Monster. I
Yeah.
think 2
Yeah.
cans of Monster, except for you're getting a lot of unhealthy stuff in there. Like
Oh my gosh.
yellow 5, red
Yeah.
7, green 19, brown 34.
Or those are all going to preserve me for 116
That's
years.
what, when you're 116, they're like, what was it, Danny? And you're like,
Yeah.
I drank
Monster.
more red 7 than any other person in the history of the
Monster is a lifestyle, not just a drink. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
gotta
forget it.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what they were looking specifically to combat was frailty, which they said was that was the thing they was specifically trying to understand. So they found middle-aged individuals who consumed the most coffee, black tea, or green tea had significantly reduced risk of physical frailty in their old years.
Okay. WB in the chat says that any people who drink that much coffee is also there's some cross-section data. Like maybe they're like, I know a lot of like endurance
More
athletes
active?
love their coffee.
Yeah.
A lot of active
Mhm.
people
That's true.
love
Good
their
point.
coffee. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's
So-
not just the coffee. I don't know if that's true.
Hmm. Yeah.
How's
Who
your
else drinks a
workout
lot
been?
of coffee?
You do.
Air traffic controllers. Yeah. I
Don't
try
you
to cut
drink a lot
down
of
on my coffee. I try to like, I don't want to drink like so much.
Why?
Well, because I love what it does to me, and I sort of don't want to like lose it. I feel like if I drank a ton of coffee,
Yeah.
then
Yep.
I'm sort of like having to just drink the coffee just to get to baseline. So I try to like hold off drinking coffee until like the middle of the day. I was talking to Danny about my schedule before we started up the show.
Yeah.
And, I got these like I gotta be making these
a night
podcasts
owl.
all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like I really hit a slump in the middle of the day. That's where I want the coffee.
So you drink one in the middle of the day?
That's usually, that's when I drink the most coffee is like around like 2:00.
So let's go over your coffee drinking habits.
Yeah.
You wake up.
Yeah.
Do you get the kids ready for school and stuff, or
No,
are you already
Nicole
in the
does it.
studio?
Nicole does that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
When's your first coffee?
I try to hold off if I can until like 2 or 3. That's
till the afternoon
Yeah, I try to
coffee.
just have like the
Nice.
big one and then
Interesting.
and then be like all hopped up.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
but I don't know. And maybe as I get older, I got to keep just drinking all day.
I like to get the kids ready for school. I drive them to school, and then when I come home, I drink 2 glasses of water.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like to relax and drink my coffee while I scroll the morning news
Okay. Yeah.
or
Sounds
place
perfect.
my bets.
Parlays. Yeah, get those parlays out there.
You got to, dude.
Do it while you're fresh. You don't want
Yeah.
to do it at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So for people in their middle ages, keep the coffee coming if you want to avoid frailty.
You want to avoid frailty. That's
Yeah,
actually
you got fine green tea, but avoid frailty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is
All right.
Danny going to start? Danny, you starting, or are you still just going to hit those monsters?
probably just keep with the dew.
Okay.
Just preserve my insides with all those chemicals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Danny, let's talk about another medical story, and let's visit a question, which is an interesting one. And there is some thought that when people get blood transfusions,
Mm-hmm.
do they also inherit some of the personality characteristics of the people that they have received the blood from?
Let's hope not.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, that would be bad because, maybe people who give transfusions
Are
are more
extra healthy.
altruistic and healthy. So they're
Mhm.
nice and they're healthy and they, they're the kind of people you want blood
But what if
from.
there's like jerks that are donating blood for
Jerks don't donate blood.
What if there used to be like you have like a giveaway of like, hey, donate blood and we'll give you like free Subway coupons.
Maybe this will become more like other donations where on the bag of blood it'll list their traits, their
Yeah.
hobbies, their
Ooh.
passions.
You can go in.
Height.
It's like a sperm donor.
Like it's like a menu.
Can I get the Randy Johnson?
It's like a sperm donor. Yeah, you go in and you're like, let's see what we got here.
Yeah.
Do you have any good bird murderers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get type O negative high riz?
That would make getting blood more fun if they did provide you with a dossier of like pictures and
so you
like
go lay down.
lifestyle.
Is this going to be like the future where it's like, because also the blood, don't you want it from a younger person? So then it's like, so you're like just like, I want whoever's best at Mario Kart. The
Can
newest.
put up 300 on the bench press.
Yeah. The star quarterman of the football squad.
Yep.
Star quarterman. Yeah. Okay. Well, that people are saying that because also like they've noticed this with organ donation. Sometimes, you get a little bit something of the person that you got the thing from.
That's why I'm an organ donor.
Is this
I'm
science?
Just like, I can live on forever
It's from the Daily Mail, Danny. So I think
I got to look into this.
Yeah. Okay. So that last month that there was a study published out of Sweden that they suggested that there could be some of these symptoms that are passed on.
So hypothetical, we all just want to be more in sync for the podcast. We all swap a little blood and then all of a sudden we're just like Danny and me are better at podcasting. Rob and me are better at our quads swell.
Mm-hmm.
And
can serial killers be organ donors?
What was that movie with there was like somebody got like the hand of like a serial killer?
We can transplant.
I don't think was that a documentary?
I think it was a documentary, right?
Okay, yeah. I mean, as far as I know. I think because you only watch documentaries mostly, Rob. So if you've seen that, it's probably documentary.
So it's an emerging field of study called cellular memory.
Yeah,
emerging field.
Cellular memory. Yes, because for instance, that somebody had an organ transplant and they have different personality changes. There was one woman who got a lung transplant and she developed a craving for beer and fried chicken.
There's a little bit of this that sounds plausible, very small.
Mm-hmm.
What part?
The rest of it, well, I could see there is memory in your muscles, right? And probably in your cells.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it also like 2 or 3 anecdotal stories about people who received organ transplants is not enough to convince me that it's true. This emerging field of study needs to do a lot of work before I'll be convinced about the blood I'm receiving.
Well, what about if we just like started our own experiments here, Danny?
Like we pass blood to each other without telling us what we like. Actually, that would be the best way. A blind study where you get blood from a donor knowing nothing about them, and then over time you see if you develop their cravings.
So you just have to find somebody with like one singular overpowering trait that
obsession.
they keep exhibiting. Yeah, an obsession. And just like pump that into everybody and see how many people develop and you find a bunch of people who have no craving or taste
eat
for
olives
this
after hating olives.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So, and just like do that to a bunch of people. And like, I would be perfect. So you find somebody who just is like, I only eat ranch, like the kids who just like use the carrot as the spoon for the ranch transport to their mouth.
Yeah.
Find somebody who eats ranch like that, just squirting it from the bottle as their only source of nutrition. And then have people like me who like, even when you say ranch, I almost vomit a little bit.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Let's make this happen.
Or we could do vice versa, because
$2 million.
don't think I would risk accidentally falling in love with ranch. That would go against my moral code. So let's me donate to ranch lovers and see if
they hate it. Oh, they despise it all.
Kill their love of ranch. That's sad, though. Why would you want to do that? Take one away, one of their life's joys.
Well, if it's an evil, Danny.
It's not.
Doc's in the chat says that the movie that I'm referring to is the 1991 thriller Body Parts.
Is that a documentary?
I think it was a documentary.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, cool that we can be scientists pretty easy.
We just need lots of blood and a description of where it came from.
So this is not a health story. This is a fake health story about a man who thought he had a pretty clever way to get out of paying the bill. Until now, that a man in Spain was arrested after faking a heart attack to avoid paying the bill in a restaurant for the 20th time this year.
Dude, they're so healthy in Spain that they have to fake heart attacks.
Yeah. Fake heart attacks to get out of the bill.
So it's worked 19 times?
Just this year. Who knows from before this?
Man.
So
how does that work? You get in the ambulance? And then...
So he orders like an expensive dinner with like lobster and whiskey. And then when the bill comes, then he like throws himself on the ground and pretends to have a heart attack. And then this time they called the police.
What do you do when they rush towards you with the defibrillator and you're faking the heart attack? I mean, oh, no, I'm better. No, it's gone.
Yeah, I don't know how, like, what happens, like, when, like, the ambulance comes? You say, like, oh, no, I'm just going to walk it off. No ambulance for me.
Oh, that's weird. Actually, just think, yeah, it's better. No, it's good. I think I can keep eating my lobster. It was just a lobster cramp.
Yeah. So he's been arrested multiple times for this.
Wait a minute.
Like how many times before he's on a watch list?
Why isn't he on a watch list?
You go to a restaurant and they're just like, they go in the database. It's a new thing. And they're just like, you faked your death after the most expensive meal on the menu many times.
I think that's a great idea, Tyson. The Dine and Dash
watch list
database,
nationwide database from
Dine and Dash database. Yes,
yeah. It's just like NSA is scouring text messages.
No, it's not even NSA. This is just restaurant owners reporting people who are faking heart attacks or doing whatever, dining and dashing, putting their picture up instead of putting it in front of the cash register like they did in days of old.
Yeah.
Now they've got the Dine and Dash database.
Does he say, like, when the check comes, like, oh, I think I'm having a heart attack, I'm just going to go to the hospital. I'm just going to go to the emergency room for this heart attack. And
how about
just
this?
Like runs off. Yeah.
Here's a new one. We buy an ambulance and we do a service where it costs you $100 for us to tow you and a companion out of a restaurant. So as long as the bill's over $100, it's worth it to them to have this happen.
Do you think that he got caught at this restaurant because the guy had heard the rumors about someone doing this, and he's like, "I'm not.
Yeah.
You're gonna unless you die in front of me, you'll be paying this bill."
Yeah. Well, Tyson, how does your idea work? Where it's like, guys, we have the ambulance, then we're waiting outside, and the guy is going to like fall on the ground, and then we're just going to hope that nobody calls the real ambulance.
No, we have his companion say, I just called 911, so nobody else needs to. And then you rush in and
do fake CPR.
So they have you on speed dial. I called 911, and then it's like, hey, so then you have like a real conversation with them. Then you roll it. They have it pre-scheduled though. You have to pre-schedule because we're going to be busy.
This guy's got to get some dinners to go also, because like, what are we eating?
The ambulance people?
Yeah.
I see what Rob's saying. Oh, could you back this up for me?
Yeah.
I'll come back.
He's got to get that all ready to go.
No, you walk in, and while you have him order what you want off the menu too. So as you're loading him onto the back tray thing, you sneak some bites of
You're stealing some food off other people's tables
roll.
as they're disturbed by the commotion.
Some
A
lobster
great
roll.
idea.
Yeah. Listen, this I honestly think has some legs. It's like ambulance for hire for non-ambulance reasons. Because you can
get out of bad dates. Yeah,
that's all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just come in, and then you just fake falling on the ground, and then we'll come in and then say like, have you been drinking all the coffee we told you to? Like, no, I skipped a day. Like, oh, that's it.
You could also be. Can you get in trouble for dressing as a paramedic?
I think so.
Yeah, that doesn't seem legit.
What about a paramedic costume?
If it's Halloween, yeah, you might have a little bit more.
Because I'm just thinking like dressed as paramedics. What if we were paramedics
for Halloween?
No.
Okay, got to put in a little work to get.
Put in a little work. Yeah,
become real paramedics so we can run this scam.
Real EMT.
But we'll be real EMTs. So that way, we're like going to the restaurant, have your delicious meal. We'll come in near the end and sit at the bar dressed in our paramedic stuff. And then when you collapse, we'll be like, no need to call 9, because you got to stop the entire establishment from calling 911. That's where it starts to get dicey.
When he falls over, you jam cell service.
Yeah, you have to have a cell service jammer in the restaurant. This is getting more complex, but I think
it's going to get even more complex when you actually do this in real life.
And it's going to be hard to be profitable. So the only way it's profitable is if you're saving the person thousands of dollars on a meal that's cost thousands of dollars. So like, let's say you're like, you got to go into Nobu and you got to spend at least $2,500 in tab. And for our service, we only charge $1,500.
Okay. Well, let's talk about another crime spree that was going on in Philadelphia, where thieves stole 2 million dimes from a tractor trailer, but got busted after they only laundered about $5,000 of it.
When I see this headline, I think thieves steal a whole lot of work. Because how do you spend 2 million
So
dimes?
apparently these same guys were like going and stealing from these tractor trailers, and they've done all sorts of other heists where they've stolen truckloads of beer, tequila, frozen shrimp. But here now they stole all of these dimes valued. There was a truck that had $750,000 worth of dimes. Why do we have $750,000 worth of dimes?
Agreed.
Oh my God. Do you know how much work that's going to be are they in rolls already? Because I guess that's better. But if they're not in rolls, they're just in bags. Then you have to go into like your local supermarket and dump all these dimes into the roll machine.
They've probably got a huge vault and they're doing the whole Scrooge McDuck thing.
Swimming? You think they're swimming in dimes?
Like burying themselves in it? That'd be kind of fun. These are new dimes. These haven't been handled by the public. They're shiny. And
brand new?
Yeah, here's some of them. Here's some of the dimes on the floor.
So they didn't take all of them with them?
They tried to. I mean, there was almost a $250,000 in dimes.
Yeah, that's $50 right there spilled out on the pavement. Probably.
How much did you say?
They only got away with like a third of it.
Yeah,
I guess that's pretty good.
$234,000 worth of dimes weighs probably like 5 tons.
Oh my gosh, dude. So all you have to do is find like the giant hauler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
go to
each pallet of dimes weighed 2,500 pounds, and they broke 5 of them open.
the places like Safeway become really suspicious when you show up with 5 or 6 buckets of dimes to run through their little coin machine.
You definitely have to spread it out, but it's like,
Yeah.
at what point is it not worth it?
It's not worth it. Even if this was sitting out in the open and it was like anyone could take this, I'd be like, no, thank you. I would just
Coins
move
don't
on.
have serial numbers on them, but they are brand new, 2023. So they just recall all the 2023 dimes and then Dunzo.
Yeah. Boy, that's a lot of work.
So
I mean, who has that many dimes though? Like anybody who has more than one 2023 dime, I'm arresting on suspicion. It's like, oh, 2 2023 dimes, you're arrested. Come on in for questioning.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How do you think they got caught? Do you think that somebody dropped a dime on them?
Nice.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. They ended up that what they tried to do, this was their plan. They went to the Coinstar machine.
I knew it. That's
and
what I
I'm
was talking
saying-
about.
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. And they only got away with about $5,200.
Yeah, everyone who operates that Coinstar machine, whatever store that's in, is highly suspicious if you've got more than $50.
Mm-hmm.
$5,200 from Coinstar.
Yeah. They were going to different Coinstars in Maryland. So they tried to get out of Philadelphia, but
They got
couldn't get away.
$5,200 from Coinstar, and it took them 720
Man
hours.
Yeah. They're like, hey, is anybody putting in all dimes? No other coins?
$500 in gas.
Yeah.
There was a forklift rental. That was another $500.
Yeah, they had to hire a bunch of strong dudes, and then they murdered them so that they
Yep.
could keep secret, and so they've got that looming too. And it's just like, dude, it would have just been easier to just get a regular job.
Go to McDonald's, just get a job.
Yeah.
And
Right,
more profitable. Yeah.
So let's talk about the story. A case in the UK where a crime scene was reported. Police were notified about a dead body found in the English woods. But when the authorities found it, it turned out to be a very dirty, broken, and overused sex doll.
Even in that condition, though, one of the cops still took it home.
Yeah.
Is that true?
No,
Probably.
No.
Just
that
from
was
our
the-
story last
that was
week.
the story from last week where
Oh, I
somebody tried to steal the sex doll of a dead body. This is a mistaken identity case.
Less embarrassing than taking it to the dump or having the garbage man see it in the trash can, I guess.
You think?
I-
Not when they do the DNA testing and bring it back to your house.
This is yours. How do you
Yeah.
know? Oh, we know. We
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I think the most disturbing part of the story is the word overuse.
Yeah, WB says that's subjective.
That's true.
Yeah.
Overused doll, according to the cops.
Yeah,
But-
overused.
and the owner, because he got rid of it. So probably was overused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that many people stumbled across this discovery in the woods?
And didn't want to touch it or even look
Or
at
maybe
it.
I think too many people did want to touch it.
How
Unfortunately.
sad was this doll when the new doll arrived and it knew that it was going to be
It was on its
disregarded?
way out, like the Velveteen Rabbit.
Yep.
Yeah.
The modern aged Velveteen Rabbit.
Very sad
So
story.
sad. So sad.
Yeah. Got a new
New
toy in the
toys.
house, and that was
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Got thrown
that's
into
it.
got thrown into the woods.
Man.
Okay.
Sorry, sex
Yeah.
doll.
Let's
So
see.
sad.
We haven't talked too much about Halloween yet this year, and it's just around the corner. 1 week from today is going to be Halloween.
Crazy.
Yeah. And it turns out that maybe the older generations aren't paying as much attention to Halloween as younger people are, because a new study says that Gen Z actually takes Halloween much more serious than millennials.
But younger people like to party for Halloween.
They do.
Right? Old people only have their kids. They live through Halloween, with their kids. But Gen Z, they're going out. They can't go to enough Halloween parties dressed as a naughty angel, or Chad.
Chad is a popular Halloween costume.
I don't know. Ken's going to be a big one, I'm sure, and Barbie. So Ken and Barbie will probably be. We used to talk all the time about the biggest up and coming costumes, decorations, foods, candies, and it just seems like it's falling off.
Nobody cares anymore.
Nobody's that interested. I mean, I can give you the list of the best pop culture costumes for 2023.
Mario's on there, the Mario movie.
Mario, it's okay.
We're gonna be that actually.
Barbie, Oppenheimer. Nobody's Oppenheimer.
No one's gonna dress up.
Spider-Man, Wednesday, Bear from the Bear.
What? Cocaine Bear?
Oh,
not Cocaine Bear.
The cook guy.
Yeah, the cook.
Bear Grylls?
No, Bear from the Bear on
the
Hulu,
show.
the movie.
Oh, that I haven't watched that.
Yeah, it was listed as a comedy, so I turned it on and didn't laugh, and then turned it off.
Smart.
But maybe it's like an old comedy, as in like Shakespeare was comedy.
Oh, this poll was conducted on behalf of one of my favorite candies.
Yes, what candy?
Hi Chew.
Hi Chew.
Ooh,
Hi Chews are delicious.
Yeah, Danny loves those.
He
eats them for breakfast almost every morning.
Yeah, and this one talks about candy, and it's saying that respondents are hoping to snack on fruity, 61%, chewy, 59%, and chocolatey, 57%. So most people want fruity candy. That doesn't seem
for
right.
Halloween.
Yeah,
I think probably most kids prefer the fruity. Most adults probably prefer the chocolate.
Chocolate. Yeah, that's probably a good breakdown.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Danny, I'm gonna have to check out some Hi Chew.
I love Hi Chews.
Tyson, have you ever had a Hi Chew?
Yeah, Japanese chewy candies.
Yeah,
aren't they from Japan?
I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, they're good. I like them. I don't know that I've ever personally paid for them, but I've eaten them enough when people are like, "Hey, here's some Hi Chews."
I just finished off an entire bag of Crocs, soft Crocs, I think is what they were called by Haribo.
I don't know what that is.
They were so delightful.
Oh, the alligators.
The alligators. Thank you, Tyson.
What were they?
Not the sandals, but alligators. Yeah, with that marshmallow thing that Haribo puts on their candies.
Yeah, but wait, are they soft Crocs? Because if so, they're crocodiles. What are they called?
No, I can't remember.
I think green on top and white underneath.
Multicolored, but nobody ever gives that kind of candy out. It's the same. Everyone goes to Costco.
Those aren't individually wrapped.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Everyone goes to Costco and gets the same candy mix and then hands out the same candies.
And does that bother you?
It does a little bit. I'd like to see more.
Like a variety.
Yeah, I'd like a variety, some multicultural candies.
Well,
spice things up.
Should those thieves have saved all the dimes for Halloween?
And put them into those cards with the coin holder that's like, brush your teeth, kids. And you're like, fuck this guy.
Because you got to spend money on candy. The money that you save is the same as money that you make.
Yeah, 3 years ago, my kids got fake currency with investment advice on it as a Halloween gift.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty
they
good.
threw it away immediately.
Yeah. So of the 1,000 people surveyed, that they found that 42% of Gen Zers take Halloween parties very seriously, and millennials, only 34% of them are taking it very seriously.
They didn't even ask Gen Xers.
Yeah.
Because they already know.
We don't care. We don't take anything serious.
I don't think it's about the generation. I think it's about your age. Like, sure, that is generation, but it's like, when I was the age that Gen Z is now, I took Halloween more seriously. And when I was millennial, I took it less. Age that millennials are now, I took it less seriously. And now that I'm older and have kids, I do take it more seriously for the kids.
Yeah.
But for myself, I don't care. And so that's, I think, that's more of it. It has nothing to do with when you were born, has everything to do with how old you currently are.
Yeah.
Like, in come on, you're in college and there's Halloween parties everywhere. You got to take it serious.
Okay.
That spray tan and those fake veneers.
What are you? Oh, for Ken. You can. Yeah.
All right. Well, all right, Danny, I want to know if this is either your house or if you were the person who was offended, but apparently a Utah man has been ordered to remove a Halloween display featuring a pole dancing skeleton.
Danny.
I saw it
Yes.
just down the street from my house. This guy had a great display on his yard of 2 skeletons carrying a pole between them on their shoulders.
Yeah.
And on that pole were little baby skeletons hanging upside down. And I
Okay.
thought, that's pretty dark.
That is pretty dark, but
Mhm.
but it's skeletons. We used to, and this is off topic a little bit. We would go into the yards on Christmas and make it look like the reindeers were having
And Tyson,
relations with one
it's
another.
funny you say that because I thought there are so many skeletons on this street. It's a long 1.5 mile street.
Yeah.
How come none of these have been rearranged?
You think I should fly in and you and I should go and do some
spend a whole evening just rearranging skeletons
and
all over
laughing?
the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better watch out because there's a zero tolerance policy in Utah. Here, let me play this from Fox 5.
Outside of Salt Lake City has divided. The display's creator initially put it up on a neighborhood street corner sign.
I'm trying to get a good look, right?
Too,
as we're talking.
Shut it
but
down.
Reaction blew up when the city showed the decoration on its Facebook page, ordering the man to take it down that day. So the designer moved it to his property, made the display bigger and flashier.
We're gonna go tip them when we leave. We know. We
Oh, they're
what it's
making
like
it
to work for
rain.
tips.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
we've
are.
got $3 in
for
the
some
hand.
people, but it's just in all in the name of fun.
I think it brings a lot of good humor that we need to a
Guy
small
needs to spend
town.
money on grass.
Okay, so to
rather
me, it
than
looked like a pole dancing
skeleton
skeleton, right? And then it was like, guy skeletons or gal skeletons, I guess, sitting in
sure.
chairs around.
Yeah,
the
you don't
pole.
know.
Yeah,
That's the
what it
best
looked
thing
like.
about
Might not
skeletons.
be age appropriate either.
Right, okay. So some neighbors say the decoration sends the wrong message, calling it inappropriate and raunchy. Others are adding their own decorations to the display of skeleton adult dancers.
Great way to start a discussion about
Mhm.
with your children about stripping.
Yeah, because I mean the skeleton. What are they showing?
So true.
Aren't all skeletons naked? I mean, if you can't have the pole dancing skeleton, what's obscene? The pole?
Excellent point. All skeletons
Put
are
some clothes on all these skeletons then.
Yeah. I think it's just the idea. I don't know. I like that the man was committed though.
Yeah.
And couldn't you just keep putting, so this is where Danny and I come in. We sneak over to that guy's house, take those skeletons, put them back on the street sign. So the city's like, what we told, then cause a whole fight
I thought you were going to say rearrange them in a less suggestive manner.
where they're all reading Bibles.
Bibles, yeah.
Mhm.
Take it off the pole, put them all in like a pew. We'll get a wooden bench and then Bibles.
And then just them have
But all the others, but all the other skeletons we come across, the reverse.
Yes, it depends. Whatever they have them designed, we swing the full opposite.
Yes.
So
All
the
right.
best thing you can do to avoid Danny and Tyson's rearrangement wrath is arrange them in provocative, questionable
Before you get there.
arrangements
And we'll
before
pass
we
by
get
your
there,
house.
and we'll pass right by your house.
Yeah. Wow. It's like the story of Passover.
That's exactly what I started to think about.
Yeah. Okay.
Biblical.
All right. Danny, are you ready to take us to your bolt hole?
So ready.
All right, here we go. Danny's bolt hole.
Uh-huh.
To my bolt hole. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong.
Having just flown, this article really appealed to me.
Mhm.
And it coins a term that I think aptly represents exactly what the airlines do. To
Oh,
host
I
a
thought it
boat.
was about boat travel.
This isn't about the pilot that tried to turn the plane off, right?
No, that was crazy. And
Yeah.
Chris flies in jump seats all the time, and now I'm a little nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to pay closer attention to him. Yeah, and also I didn't know that there was and I'll have to ask a pilot about this. He was trying to hit something called a fire suppression switch. Does this switch kill engines instantly? Because it sounded like it had that possibility. I mean,
I don't know anything about what you're talking about, Danny.
Okay, so there was a flight from Seattle.
Too.
And during that flight, there were 2 pilots, and then there was a guy who flies for the airline but didn't have a ticket, so he flew on what they call a jump seat.
Yeah, the
which is
little teeny fold-out seat in the
Yes.
cockpit. Yeah.
So during the flight, soon after takeoff, he attempted to shut down the engines to the airplane in mid-flight by hitting something called a fire suppression system, which is what I read.
But for what purpose? To
To
save
intentionally
lives?
crash the plane.
Oh, he wanted it to be
He's been
done.
charged with 83 counts of attempted murder. Attempted murder.
Wow.
So
what's that? 3 years?
what concerned? Yeah, I don't know. What
Community
concerned
service, I
me
think.
about this is that there was a button that actually had that possibility, which I find really hard to believe. But the other pilots were able to restrain him and then put him in the back of the plane.
Wow.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, all of his neighbors were like, he was the nicest guy, the best dad.
Yeah.
That's how they always are, That's
I
why I
know.
purposely try to not be the nicest guy.
Yeah. Because anybody that talks to their neighbors is a serial killer.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You
Only people
rarely
that would
hear them
want to
say-
do that.
You rarely hear them say that the guy, the serial killer that lived next door, was a total dick
Yeah.
and had tons of stripper skeletons on his yard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We
Never
knew
take-
something was up when he put the stripper skeletons.
Yeah. No, but this is a term I heard, and I guess it was coined by a New Yorker columnist, and it's called calculated misery.
Okay.
And what the theory is that airlines make the basic pricing so horrible that you will pay for upgrades to escape their calculated misery. And so only the most desperate people pay those low fees
Mhm.
to fly basic economy. And everybody else is like, oh, there's just no way. And it does. It totally works. I just flew to Paris with my family and I was going to buy basic tickets, but they don't let you pick seats in advance. So you can't, if you have kids, buy basic tickets, even though they're $300
That's
less.
a feature, not a bug, Danny.
That's what I'm saying. It's
I don't want to sit next to my
misery.
family.
And anyway,
That's somebody else's problem.
the airlines have made from charging you for seat upgrades and for luggage fees this last year, they made $9 billion off of those scams. They're the worst.
They are the worst.
They really are the worst.
I did that basic one once on American Airlines, I believe it was. And this is when Bergen was like 5. And they had us all in different seats. And I went to the desk and I said, hey, we have to sit by our 5-year-old. Like, that's not cool. And they were like, oh, you didn't pay for the upgrade to choose your seat? And I was like, no. And they're like, okay, well, we'll see what we can do. I was like, okay, see what you can do. And if you can't do anything, you assume the liability and responsibility that they are not sitting next to a pervert. And they immediately got it fixed.
Yeah.
Well, this is how you know it's a monopoly. There's almost no other industry where they could actually do this. Create an environment at the lowest price tier, like a restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, think about all the other services you use and just make it the absolute grossest, most horrible experience. Because if that was the case, you just have somewhere else you can go. But with the airlines, like, well, if I go to Spirit Airlines, I'll be attacked.
Yeah.
If
I go to Frontier, who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows what's going to happen?
Breeze Airways, that's all new, but everybody has 2 dogs.
So calculated misery. The next time you're sitting in the airplane and it's just horrible, just know that that's what the airlines wanted. And you know what? The CEOs sit there on their piles of nickels in their big Scrooge McDuck vaults and rub their hands together with glee when they see passengers attacking passengers. Because the real person to blame are the airlines, but we never hardly get mad at them. You know what I mean? And the CEOs who make these decisions, we just fight each other.
I feel like most of my anger in life is directed at airlines.
They're just the worst. They don't care. Seats are smaller. I mean, everything just gets worse and worse, and as they squeeze every penny from you. I know it's a luxury to fly. I know that you don't have to do it in most cases unless you're doing it for work. But still, I can't think of anyone else who tries to hose you harder than the airlines.
Wow.
And now I have a term to use. It's called calculated misery.
Okay. Danny was a non-holiday rant about the airline.
Wow. I've calculated my misery and booked my ticket on Southwest Airlines to go see RHAP live next week.
Yes.
So I got up on RHAP.com.
Yes.
And I was shocked at how many podcasts you do, Rob.
Is this the first? Are you just finding this out just now?
I looked a long time ago. Like we talk about what he does, right?
Yeah.
Like we know that I knew that you did a lot,
Yeah.
but then when I saw
I'm not on all of them on the Rob's website.
It was a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Rob's not the host of all of those.
Still, he manages those.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a mogul.
Yeah, I was like, dang, dude.
A lot of podcasts.
No wonder you work until 11 at night.
Yeah.
And he's on one more podcast tomorrow.
Yes. Well, look, I can't get enough, Tyson.
You really can't. I will be interviewing Rob on my Survivor podcast.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Tyson's a very good interviewer, and I've never been interviewed by Tyson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Student becomes the master.
I don't know. Maybe we'll just settle into our usual roles and go for 7 hours like we used to.
Yeah.
Dude,
okay.
7 hours.
I'm ready for anything. I'll have coffee before that one, Tyson.
Okay, good. Good to know. Yeah, I'm very excited. Excited for both those things. I get to see you in person in exactly a week.
Yep. What a 8 or 9 days in front of us.
Oh my gosh.
How are you guys going to be able to contain?
I mean,
excitement.
Be
I don't know.
Extra fueled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extra fueled. I'm going to be too. Yeah, that's what I've got going on. What else do I have going on? Oh yeah, my team might make the World Series. If that's the case, I'll be going to a World Series game. My friend works for the Rangers and they've already made the World Series. So I can go to the World Series in Dallas. And I figure this is the most I'm ever going to care about baseball in my life. So if Arizona doesn't make the World Series, heaven forbid, I could fly to Dallas and at least experience a World Series. Is that worth doing?
Probably.
I've never been to a World Series game.
But
if the Diamondbacks make the World Series, are you not allowed to wear your Diamondbacks stuff?
If the Diamondbacks make the World Series, then I'm just going to stay home and go to the Diamondbacks stadium.
Got it.
But if they don't, then I'm going to fly to Dallas and probably wear Rangers stuff with my friend who works there. Yeah.
A fickle fan.
You'll adopt them.
No, I'm not. Arizona, number 1. Texas Rangers, number 2.
Okay.
I've always said that. That's my A and B.
Yeah.
You don't have an A and B squad, Rob?
I have not so much the other teams I root for, but I have teams that I root against, and so that I will adopt the teams. For instance, like Tyson, your Diamondbacks are my number 1 team right now.
See, there we go. There we go.
So there you go. So yeah, I have my favorite team and then the many enemy teams.
Okay, good.
I don't have a second favorite team,
but your second favorite team is all the teams that are not the enemy teams.
That are playing the enemy teams. Yeah.
Michael Myers in the chat asked if I am a Salt Lake baseball fan, the Bees, but the Bees are not in the MLB.
Yeah.
And you have to.
But we might get an MLB team here soon.
Really?
Yeah.
In the expansion.
Too late because I'm already an Arizona Diamondbacks fan.
So that might be a strike against getting the team.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll talk to the governor or whoever's in charge of deciding whether or not there's a team there.
Yeah.
Let them know.
All right. Danny, did we cover what else is coming up for you?
Well, I've got a YouTube video coming out on Mediocre Amateur on Sunday.
About your French trip?
Yeah, about my adventures in France. Got a little dry heaving in there. So if you love that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I love that.
I didn't feel myself actually throw up because by that point I was kind of just like didn't want to do anything. But
could you start an OnlyFans where it's just you puking during exercise?
Do they have limits on that? I don't know.
Is there a group that might? I'm sure there's a fetish, a puke fetish. There has.
For sure there is, dude.
For sure.
Yeah.
It takes
probably right.
I really have to work up to it, so it has to be hot. It has to be a long day out on the trail. It's like a pretty miserable thing to get to that point. So anyway, I've got that coming out on YouTube, and other than that, just Halloween. I've got like 5 days. Halloween used to be 1 day. Now it's like 5.
It's a month.
That's a lot of days. A lot of days.
Yeah. And
what
then
about
the Christmas
Rob?
decorations go up, right? Just a busy week getting ready for my West Coast trip coming up next week. So lots of podcasting, but also I'm flying on Halloween. So my family is like, what? you're not gonna be here Halloween night. So now I am guilt tripped into doing extra Halloween stuff all through this weekend too.
Good,
So
you should.
got a lot on my plate.
Okay, well, I have
right.
to pee, so should we wrap
All
this
right.
up?
Yeah, wrap it up. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
We did it, guys.